As we just mentioned, the Aggies went on the road and routed LSU, ultimately leading to the demise of their head coach, Brian Kelly. Marcel Reed stole the show from me, JD. He had 310 total yards, 4 total touchdowns. If the season ended today, would you give Reed the Heisman?
Ooh, would I give him the Heisman? Yes. I'll just say yes. Ty Simpson has been awesome, but if I'm going off of like the last game we got to see, Marcel Reed, with the performance he had, if you're making a case for the Heisman, it's hard to not say Marcel Reed would have solidified himself for the Heisman. Now, I think part of this too is the perspective we have going into conference title weekend. We're tracking the Heisman stuff, I think, pretty closely, and we're looking for somebody to separate from the pack. So if we had the thought process going into last weekend of this is the last week of the season until we get the Heisman Trophy out, I think that would be like the Heisman moment, if you will. So since we're not totally viewing it that way, I still have Ty Simpson ahead in the rankings based on the body of work, but Heisman moment would have been solidified there for Marcel Reed as they empty out the place in Death Valley and tell Brian Kelly to go find a new job as he scoots into the end zone on the 40-piece LSU. So the answer is yes.
Yeah, I think this was his Heisman moment. I think it's the first one we've had this year, if we're being honest. I think it's just such a weird pack of Heisman like candidates. Some have said it's like the worst in a while because I feel like there's not a lot of there's not like one player in the country that stands out as like the best in the country right now. And when these guys have been on the biggest stages, I think this has been the best consistent performer on big stages all year is Marcel Reed. I think he's the best and most impactful player on an undefeated team this year, and I think that's why I would give him the nod personally.
I want to camp for just a quick second on A&M because, dude, their swagger feels different than previous years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like A&M, I think A&M fans, we talk about it multiple times throughout the course of the last couple of videos on this show and the show in general, but Aggie fans are still waiting for that other shoe to drop, for battered Aggie syndrome to rear its ugly head. This A&M team doesn't feel like they're thinking about that at all.
Yeah.
Like they're just out there having a good time. They feel pretty carefree. They're out there, oh, we're down by 4 at LSU. No worries. We'll reset. We'll go do our thing in the second half and just run away with this. Do you get that same vibe, Kato? I feel like they've got a different personality about themselves that seems to serve well to them resetting, having the proper edge, but also not tight. Like it's a very interesting blend right now in College Station that I don't know that we've seen in the last decade plus.
Yeah, I think it's to the point now where you're not on their schedule, like they're on your schedule. Like
Yes.
You see that logo now on the schedule, and week after week throughout the season, it's like, dang, like we don't want to play them. And on top of that, if it's at A&M, I think when you parlay what they are right now and their home field advantage, I think they got the best thing going right now. And now they're proven to be road warriors. They have their 3rd straight road game coming up, and they've been completely unfazed. They've embodied the personality of their head coach, and they have the personnel to back it up. They have so many ways to kill you. Like we mentioned before, one of the most well-rounded teams in the country. I mean, I predicted it last time. I think they'll be in the Natty, man. I think they're that good, and if they don't make it, it's just some of these, like, maybe the decision-making will catch up to them. Marcel does.
Sure.
Hang the ball around a little bit. We've complimented them for kind of adjusting to every style of game, but that does mean you have games where you give up a bunch of points, and there's been some games where the offense isn't as going as well. But
Live dangerously a little bit.
yeah, they live a little bit more dangerously
No
than some of the
seatbelt.
teams ranked above them. But man, are they good? And they do have a different swag. They've even upgraded the swag, more helmet combos, the all black sometimes, the all maroon. Like their swag's growing on me for sure. So.
And let's zoom out. Well, one, if you're an Aggie fan, subscribe because Kato picked y'all to win the national freaking championship. So if you needed a reason to be dialed in as an A&M fan, there's your reason. But let's zoom out a second here because I think the reason why you wouldn't go to A&M if you are a prospect or you're in the portal, you say, well, yeah, they got money. Yeah, they got some brand power. That's great. But they never really do anything is what the negative recruiting would say. Same thing they said against Miami the last couple of years. But now you zoom out and look at the way the A&M's trending under Mike Elko. I don't know why you would say no to A&M when it comes to them trying to get you via the portal or at the high school level. That's not me making a billboard statement to have all these high school prospects that watch this show commit to A&M. But like the negative recruiting that you can have against a Mike Elko and against an A&M is no longer there because they're a team of substance. They have a fun offense. They get it to their skill players. They run the football. Like everything's coming up to the right for A&M is what I'm saying here, Kato. I guess is my point. So the future is bright, I think, even just outside of this year for the folks in College Station.
Let me just say this. We've talked about it before. There's nothing that activates the NIL more than winning, getting close, seeing it right there. And I'll tell you what, if they cap off this regular season with a resounding win against Texas, I think the recruiting landscape in that state especially could turn a little bit. I think the trend for both of those teams is going in different directions right now, and we'll get to Texas here shortly. But yeah, man, love the Aggies this year. Love what they're doing.
It's good stuff. No, I wanted to camp out there for a second, just give the Aggies a little bit of their love that's been due when they get a head coach fired, I suppose.
Who doesn't love a little camp out at College Station, man?
Well, REI.
I respect it.
Good camping in College Station, I'm assuming.